From the farthest reaches of the galaxy, the Midwest, you're watching Beyond the Blast.
The following presentation is part of the Beyond the Blast Doors network.
From the farthest reaches of the galaxy, the Midwest, you're watching Beyond the Blast Doors live.
Lando gets his own show. Dr. Aphra has her own audiobook. Let's see what else is going on. The Bad Batch gets their own show. We're talking about all those things, but first things first. Baseball is back, baby. The St. Louis Cardinals has their home opener, has its home opener tomorrow night. You know, collective nouns, they're such a drag. I mean, aren't they such a drag? The grammatical errors that we make on a daily basis. Just a complaint of a broadcast journalist. Hey, happy to be with you in this moment to talk Star Wars, episode 83 of Beyond the Blast Doors, BTBD Live with you. And we're going to talk about all those things that I mentioned. Might even talk a little bit more baseball. Who knows what's going to happen in the next hour. But very excited to talk about these Lando rumors. We've been talking about them for the last few days in a way, a little bit on Around the Galaxy with Pete Fletzer. He had a couple guys on. We'll talk about that conversation. We'll talk about the Bad Batch. I might even go as far as saying that I might have gotten the best mail call in a long time. More on that later. Hint, hint, Funko Pop battle at Echo Base. Anyways, we are here to talk about a great deal about Star Wars, even have some fan questions that we'll get to by the end of this hour together. And it has to be a strict hour because this week, today, that was the wrong way to phrase it. Today, I have friends coming over. I've got 3 racks of spare back ribs smoking right now at 250 degrees hickory wood. Weber charcoal in a charbroil kettle. It's pretty great. And that's about as much as I'll flex my masculinity. And I'll say this. You don't have to be a dude to smoke meat, enjoy smoking meat, eat smoked meat. You can be anybody. But I really freaking love smoking meat. So I got 3 racks of ribs. I got friends coming over. We're going to have chicken wings. And I'd invite all of you, but most likely if you live in the U.S., my state is on the do not fly to or out of list. And if you live overseas, you're sure as hell not going to come over to the United States. That's for damn sure. We got a lot to get to. I'm really excited about this. I feel rejuvenated, honestly. We've taken quite a sabbatical here on BTBD Live, just with the pandemic, with work, with moving to a new place, the new house, trying to enjoy life as a newlywed. Priorities constantly shift. If that's anything that 28 has taught me, I'm in my 28th year of life. That's anything I've learned. It's your priorities will shift continually, but those top 3 or 4 pretty much got to stay where they are. They can mingle among themselves, but they can't drop. And so thank you for your patience. I'm really excited to talk about Star Wars. We're going to do this for the next hour. Then I'm going to eat smoked meat. I hope you get to maybe eat smoked meat. But if not, maybe you have a loved one who can give you a pleasurable night. I wish that for you. Okay, hey, just to go over things first. Thank you again. BTBD Live, episode 83. Yes, Lando has a show. It's a rumor, but let's run with it. Let's have a damn good time with this, okay? iTunes, Spotify, Stitcher, SoundCloud. You can even support BTBD Live conversation on Patreon. But thank you for joining our Star Wars conversation. Don't forget, you can always find us as well. Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Shout out to the illustrious, the intelligent, the stunningly beautiful Shannon Moran. There is a graphic right now on Instagram that posted to promote today's show. And it's flippin' killer. And it's better than anything that I could have ever made. So Shannon, bless you. Mwah. It's wonderful, just like you. I'm in a good mood. You probably can feel that I'm in a good mood. I would hope that you could feel that I'm in a good mood. Because we're going to be talking about the fact that Lando apparently has his own show. This is the news right now. A rumor that Lando Calrissian is going to be helming a new Star Wars project. It's believed to be on Disney+. How this all happens. Noah Outlaw, Corey Van Dyke, they're from the Castle Run Transmissions. They're running with this. They say they have sources they trust. Okay, that's great. I don't have sources. I'll trust their sources. There have been rumors of a Lando spinoff, though, since May 2018. So I feel like we really need to be aware that this is not the first time that could Lando have his own spinoff show. I'm pretty sure we all walked out of the theater in 2018 going, I think Lando could have a spinoff. Like we walked out of that movie going, well, that was something. I like this, this, and this. And I think we all said we really like Donald Glover's Lando. Now there's rumors that he signed on to do this other project. And very convenient, right? Because just a couple of days ago, in present time, if you're watching this in a year, you're like, it wasn't a couple of days ago. But at the time of this stream, in this moment, Alden Ehrenreich came out and said, he's heard something. Wouldn't elaborate on that. But something might be stewing. And we know that the original contract, whether Lucasfilm, Disney's happy that he said it or not, his original contract, he signed on for 3 films. Or was it 3 projects? Maybe they didn't have to be films. Convenient. We also have the very smooth Billy D. Williams coming out just the other day as well, saying, well, I don't think that Lando's story is over. And he also said something during the Rise of Skywalker promotion that was kind of similar. So here's my thing. If you have Billy D. Williams saying that, and the rumor is that Lando, a.k.a. Donald Glover, has signed on for another Lando project, I'm kind of buying into this idea that old Lando is telling stories of his younger years, and Donald Glover is going to go on these adventures. And I can buy that. I can go to the bank, pull out a 30-year loan on that. Who wouldn't? It's pretty exciting. I think Donald Glover, out of all the things that I really did like about Solo, Donald Glover's performance as Lando was spot on. It's like you de-aged Billy D. Williams, and he did Lando again. I mean, it was incredible. And smooth, suave, charismatic. Got that Casanova charm that Lando exhibits. Donald Glover captured all of that. And so I'm really excited that there's a next project that's in this time period of Solo. But can Lando helm his own series? Lando is a side character. For as much as people like him, as much as we're friends maybe with Lando, but fans of Lando, can he really helm a series? A lot of people speculate that he might be our gateway to a Crimson Dawn series, and getting more into Crimson Dawn and seeing what Maul and Kira are up to. I don't think so. I feel like Crimson Dawn, especially with Maul at the helm, is a bit too dark and not Lando's scene. I think, though, if it were to happen, it would be interesting if Bespin Cloud City was not the clean or legal operation we all thought it was. What I'm saying is, if Crimson Dawn maybe moved its investments around or somehow was tied to funding, creating, taking over Cloud City, and then putting Lando in charge, okay, maybe I can buy that. But again, Cloud City was supposed to be this clean, wholesome operation that Lando had done. He had changed his ways, remember? But he had to make one more deal, and that was selling out his friends to the Empire. I'm interested to see what happens. Nothing has come out on StarWars.com, which is kind of, maybe it's a sheepish way that I behave, but until I see it on StarWars.com, it's just a rumor. Anyone can make a rumor. We all came out of Solo 2 going, man, I wonder if they're going to do a Maul spinoff. And then we got you covered, came out with, oh, there's going to be a Maul movie. It's going to be great. There's going to be a Maul movie. There's going to be a Kira movie. There's going to be a L3 cereal box. It's going to be great. It's all going to be great. None of that happened. Will any of it happen? I don't know, but I wanted to. I want more Solo content. I would really like it to be a limited series run for Disney+. I think this would be the most successful, especially we have no idea how much longer this pandemic is going to run. More than likely, if we're just signing Donald Glover, we're a few years away maybe, or a year and a half away from something like this coming to light. But Disney Plus allows you, after that year and a half more of gaining more subscribers. Hopefully you're going to get, I would think the Bad Batch series that we'll talk about will drop in 2021. That'll drop obviously before it. Maybe that won't draw in the big numbers. But you have Kenobi, you have Cassian Andor. If we can get some of these really exciting projects to finalize and to push to streaming, then you've got this bigger base for Disney Plus. Then you bring in Solo 2. Let's say it's 6 episodes. and you spend an episode with Lando, and you spend an episode with Han and Chewie doing something for Jabba. Then you spend an episode on Dathomir with Kira and Maul, and then maybe the last 3 episodes, they all intersect again. I don't know. Again, we had to keep Han away from Maul. You can't really. Maybe if canon isn't a big deal to you, that's one thing in canon you can't really break, okay? Let's keep the mystique for Han, okay? But I really want to see Han just get beaten and battered emotionally and mentally, so that way that when we see him in A New Hope, it makes a lot more sense. Because right now we've got a really young, optimistic lover boy, Han Solo, and then in Solo, and then we get to A New Hope, and it's like, man, this guy hates everyone, doesn't trust anybody, walks around with a walking carpet. It likes a good blaster at his side. How did he get so bent on life? I want that story. I hope it's bloody. And a lot of Wookiees on Kashyyyk. That's what I'm saying. All right. Well, that is my thoughts on the rumor mill. And that's all we really know. That we don't actually know anything. We just know that supposedly Donald Glover has signed on. There's going to be a Lando project. We have no idea what it's about, when it's going to drop, or where it's going to drop. What do you think? Tell me down in the comments below, or you can tweet me at BTBDLive or BTBD David. If you're watching the live stream, be sure you comment down below. I feel good. Want to take a moment real quick, shout out the friends and fans that have joined here. I don't call you fans. You're my friends. I don't have fans. But let's see what's going on in the live chat right now. I think it'd be a fun conversation. Everyone's been listening to me beat bopping about Cardinals home day tomorrow. I don't care about the Yankees playing tonight. I really don't. They're not. Someone said that they're America's team, like the Cowboys. And Cowboys were great in the 90s, but I don't really remember the 90s very well. And the Yankees were great at like 1998, 1999, 2000, 2001, and that's fine. It's just the first baseball game. Will I have it on? Yes. But I'm not like diehard. Can I appreciate the history of the franchise? Yes. A lot of great baseball has been played in New York, but I'm here for the Cardinals. Got that off my chest. I do this by myself. I rant, I rave. I occasionally take water breaks. And that's what it is, because as much whiskey as I drink with Pete Fletcher on Streaming Star Wars every Friday night, I cannot drink more than one night a week. Okay, let's see what's going on in the live chat. We have a slew of friends. See, I did it again. I combined friends and fans together. But Nick Melky is with us. We got Andy from Holo Chronicles with us. We got Shannon. Shannon, I hope you heard that shout out. The Instagram is awesome. If I can, I'll try and pull it up here before we go, because I want people to see the hard work that she's put into the account, which is really exciting, because a lot of folks. See, now I put friends and folks together. A lot of people are on Instagram primarily sharing their collection, which I think is great. A lot of comic book people out there sharing their stuff, and like I said, I think that's wonderful. But Instagram is a tough cookie to crack. But when you have a Shannon Moran, you can crack that egg a little bit easier. And you're like, man, it sounds like David is even stalling. That's because if you are joining me live on Streaming Star Wars, I'm going to show you right now what I'm talking about. This is the work that Shannon has done for our Instagram, and I want you to take a look. This is the BTBDnet Instagram, and you're seeing all of our shows promoted. And Shannon does just a really bang-up job. As you can see, BTBD Live, you're watching right now, episode 3, or maybe you're listening to it right now. I'm showing you the graphic, and they're sexy. I'm titillated. This is amazing. This is a PG-13 show. I just hope you know that. I'm allowed to say these things. That is a great graphic. Great promotion, and she does this for all of our shows. Really great. So you can check out the new article that she did on Knights of the Old Republic, which I think you can now get on Steam. We got some content on Galaxy's Edge. We got this collection. This was awesome. Vintage Vehicle Motors, Andy from Holo Chronicles. I already shouted him once, but he just posted an article of someone's collection that submitted for the Holo Chronicles hashtag Show Me Your Collection feature. Really great. And then I've already mentioned it once, but Noah Outlaw and Corey Van Dyke were on the BTBD network already once this week. They were actually on the network with Pete Fletcher over at Around the Galaxy. So be sure you check out that conversation, because they do talk a little bit more about the potential of Lando having his own series, and also Ahsoka coming to live action as well in The Mandalorian, thanks to Rosario Dawson and beautiful people like Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau. And, just scrolling through, I just really appreciate Shannon's skill, wizardry with graphics, because it makes our presence just so much better. So if you don't already, be sure you follow us over on the Instagram so you can see all the cool things that we're doing. Because why wouldn't you want to do that, right? Why wouldn't you want to do that? Who else we got with us today? We have Scotty J. Rowe. We got a Scotty J. Rowe with us. We've got Rick Villanueva. And we've got a few other people in here, which is really exciting. We got Galnorian Saber with us. I think Mr. Rez, I already mentioned him. We got a great crew with us today. So it's a lot of fun. Thank you for spending your time with us. The poll of the question this week for BTBD Live is really simple. I want you to tell me, if this Lando rumor is true, what is the one character that has to make a cameo? And I believe that I got Lando up here, but I got the wrong question. But that's okay, because what I actually want to do is I'll show you the live feature of the poll right now. Got ahead of myself, got excited, but yes, if the rumor is true and there is a Lando project in development for Disney Plus, what character do you want to make a cameo the most? Lobot, Hondo Anaka, Maz Kanata, or Han Solo? Last check, Han Solo leads the way. Actually, nope, second place now. Hondo Anaka leads 35.8%, and I think that's valid. You know, you have Hondo pretty active in that story surrounding Galaxy's Edge theme park, but it would be really cool to see a live-action Hondo. Can you imagine if Jim Cummings does the voice? Hello, my friends. You know, it'd be great. I would love that. I'm here for that. I think it'd be a lot of fun. Vote on that poll. Do me a favor. Vote on that poll. Like that poll. Retweet that poll. Let's get a bunch of people in there. It's gone for 7 days. I think it'll be a lot of fun to see the results of that. My assumption would be Hondo. I think Lobot doesn't show up until Cloud City, and I do think, even despite mentioning maybe Crimson Dawn has some way in funding that, I think this story is going to take place before all of that, if it does happen. So be sure you vote. Let me know. Really excited to see what you guys have to say. Rick Villanueva says the Expos were America's team a long, long time ago. Let's go, Redbirds. Hell yeah, Gallinorian Saber. That's what I'm talking about. Do you think we could have gotten an announcement at Celebration? Scotty J. Rowe asks. Oh, man, I wish that would have been a question for the fan section at the end of the show, because that's an incredible question, and the answer is maybe. It's quite possible. And, you know, it's kind of cool. You're seeing some fans around the internet trying to do like a virtual mock celebration. That's really cool. Here's the one thing that Lucasfilm does outrageously well, and being in Chicago, was it last year, showed me that Star Wars Celebration is incredibly well done, incredibly well organized. Daniel Kennedy plays a big role in that, I know. The Star Wars show, that whole live set. Think about it, and honestly, every half hour you had a different guest. You had all these different projects. It was kind of like the hub. It was really fun as someone who works in broadcast to see that operation so much different than a news operation. Pretty cool to see. Scotty, definitely there's a real chance. And maybe they'll hold off. But what's the next opportunity where they could make an announcement like that? I mean, I don't know. I mean, you think about San Diego Comic-Con, all these big events, they're trying to find a way to do a streamed version of what they do. I honestly don't see why they don't just set up in their facilities, or find one facility to set everything up in and just live stream out of there. It's obviously more complicated than that, but maybe. I don't know what they would do instead. Maybe what they would do is maybe StarWars.com just would have its own stream, and they would just do like a 2-hour, Star Wars show, and then you just every 20 minutes they're just addressing a different angle of the storytelling, and maybe there's a 20-minute segment where it's Donald Glover walking out saying, "Hey, I'm back, baby." And if that's how he says it, then I'll know at least Donald Glover watches BTBD Live, which would be great. All right, cool. Let's go on to the next topic, because we do have quite a bit to get to on this episode of BTB Live. Hey, Taika Waititi, he's still working on that script, rather on that Star Wars movie, but we now know he's writing his script because he just said so on BBC Radio. But let's be honest, we don't know anything about this movie so far. And it's likely going to be a while before we even have an idea. Remember that Star Wars is just one of the many projects that Taika is attached to right now. What we do know is that this movie is coming out at some point in time about some Star Wars story in possibly a theater near you, but that's unless the pandemic hasn't completely wiped out that industry. Maybe we'll be watching it at home when it debuts. I have absolutely no idea. But there's another project on Taika's plate. It's called Thor. What is it? Love of Thunder? Oh, boy. It's Thor, Love and Thunder, I believe what it's called. And that project hasn't even hit production yet. I think that script is still in the works. So he's got to finish that script. Then he's got to get that movie into production. And that film right now is slated for an early 2022 release. Okay, we're in the year 2020. So it kind of feels like we might be a couple years, 2.5 years out of seeing this movie in the theaters. As far as the timeline of when this could drop, I would think maybe in the next year we have something a little bit more tangible. If we're starting to do the outline of the script and bare bones, scripts take a few months. Got to get the first draft, then there's the second draft, and it really sucks. Maybe there's a third, fourth, and fifth. But it's Taika. He's also working with the person that wrote 1917. I didn't want to burp into the microphone. I had to turn away. And Taika did that movie you might have heard called Jojo Rabbit, which won a lot of great things. And one of the things it won a lot for was its script. So Taika Waititi is clearly one of the greatest minds in cinema right now. And he is writing and directing a Star Wars movie. I'm thrilled. I got to double check. Can't recall if he is or is not directing an episode in season 2 of The Mandalorian. Really enjoyed what he brought for his episode in season 1, though. Love the humor, love the action, love the pacing. Taika will do great things. I'm so excited for his project. I really hope it works out. You know, our directors aren't batting very well when it comes to staying on projects in Star Wars.